Welcome
to the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 385 of The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. It's so good to have you here. Going to be live hacking on some Firefox stuff. Going to be trying to answer a viewer question. Going to be diving deep into the customize mode code. We'll continue our documentation journey. That's what's happening today. Without further ado, let's get started. Let me start by sharing my screen so you can see what's going on. Yeah, it's November 27th, 2024, episode 385. A reminder, no plan survives breakfast. I think I know what I want to do today. I kind of laid it out already. But things might not go according to plan. Anything could go wrong. Stream could fall over. There's construction happening next door, and so the power might suddenly go out, or my internet might go out, and then the stream's over. Anything could happen. Or I get distracted. That's fine. You're along for the ride, and we'll just do our best. That's the name of the game here. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that the agenda that we're looking at is something that you have access to. If you're watching this on Air Mozilla, check out the details section for a link to the agenda. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's down in the video description. And if you're watching this on Twitch, the link's down in the channel details. And as I update the agenda, maybe I add some stuff here, like this exclamation mark. You'll see this little spinny spin. And then if you reload the agenda page, it should be up to date. So what have I got today? What are we working on today? I just realized, like, why? Normally I can see a side-by-side view, and that appears to be missing now. Like this is like the rich editor. This is the markdown. I normally used to be able to see them both at the same time. I don't know what happened here. Toggle editor layout. Huh. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I might need to dig into Joplin. Oh, toggle. There, that's the one. That's what I wanted. Okay. Yeah. So let's take a look. So the first thing I want to do today is to answer a viewer question. Thank you, Craig. Yes, you nailed it. This is what I wanted right up here. This question came in from the forum. So at the end of every episode, or actually even at the beginning, this link is always here. And each episode gets one. And it is a forum that you can use to give me feedback on the episode. I usually plug it at the end of the episode. But it's also a place where you can ask questions. And this is a question that came in that I thought I'd try and address. Now, the question was very short. And it was very slim on detail. But the question was, why JS and not TS? Not even formed as a question. No question mark. But I presume it's this, and I'm also going to make some other presumptions. I'm going to presume that this TS stands for TypeScript. I'm going to presume that that's what that means. And I'm going to also assume that the question is asking why Firefox, the front-end code that I'm working on, and the JavaScript that you're seeing, why it's written in JS and not in TypeScript. Why is it written in JavaScript and not TypeScript? Or why aren't we actively converting over to TypeScript or something? Well, I can answer it easily. Like, the first question is like, why isn't it in TypeScript? And that's because TypeScript's fairly young. TypeScript, let's see how old TypeScript is. How old is TypeScript? TypeScript, apparently, according to Google, first appeared in October of 2012. Let's look at the Wikipedia here. First appeared 12 years ago. First usage. Yeah, Firefox and the code that builds it is years older than that. And a lot of it has existed from before that time. And so the reason it's not written in it is because originally it didn't exist. TypeScript didn't exist. Now, that doesn't mean we can't transition to other forms of JavaScript. You can transition to using TypeScript. You can transition your project from using one language and using another. We've been slowly transitioning parts of our C++ to be using Rust. We've been transitioning some of our JavaScript to be over the course of, what was it? Are we ESMification? Where's that? ESMification. There was this project to transition all of our JavaScript modules from sort of a Mozilla proprietary specific module system to standard ECMAScript modules. And that happened between 2022 and it finished off right around just the beginning of 2024. You may recall, I may have even done some of those on the stream. I don't actually remember. So you can transition from one to the other. And actually, what's kind of interesting and a sort of apropos to what we're working on, what we have been working on, is that there are kind of plans to take advantage of TypeScript. That may surprise you. That may surprise you if you're a Gecko hacker and you've never heard of this, or a Firefox hacker. But there's actually a project underway to try and pilot this out. This was done by the extensions team. You can see this README here, where you can see the extensions team. This is the team that maintains the web extension APIs in Firefox. Wanted to pilot out using TypeScript, but not by using, like, converting all of our JavaScript to using TypeScript, but just getting the type safety that TypeScript offers. Because that's really what it's about. Like, is it a better language? I don't know. I've never used it, and honestly, I don't care. What I care about, honestly, is the primary benefit that it offers is the type safety. That's what I care about. And you can get that. You can get some of that type safety without necessarily having to rewrite everything in TypeScript. And what we found out is that fairly recently, like within the past couple, I don't know when TypeScript 3.2 came out, 2.3 rather. They added it in 2.3. TypeScript allows you to analyze JavaScript files, so not TypeScript files, but JavaScript files, and using the type annotations in JS doc comments as your types. So all of this documentation we've been doing for the customize mode and customizable UI will eventually, if we pursue this path, if it pans out, allow us to take advantage of the type safety that a tool like TypeScript offers, without having to rewrite everything in TypeScript, without having the sort of the runtime overhead or transpilation overhead, build overhead. It just happens almost as like a linting step where you like run it against your scripts and it checks all the types. Now there's a lot of details to work out here. So one of the things is that, it's you oversimplify it if you just call it JavaScript, what we write for Firefox. This isn't your everyday web JavaScript. Yeah, it resembles it, but there's a lot that we have access to as Firefox developers in this sort of like privileged execution scope that is not available to normal websites, like special privileges. We have access to something called XPCOM and globals that websites never get access to, things called Chrome utils. These are give us special powers to do certain things in the parent process or in privileged process scopes without having to do it in C++. We can do it from JavaScript. And those things we need types for. And so part of the work that is necessary in order for us to truly do this transition, now that this pilot has kind of proven itself out, because this is a fairly recent pilot. This was not that long ago. When did this got piloted? Late last year. This is just kind of on the side of the desk. But since then, we have completed our transition to ES modules. That was one of the blockers. We've been adding more JS doc annotations. That's another one of the blockers. It's not a blocker, but it's like a prerequisite for having this work. And then we need to build a tool that's going to turn the types that we make available via XPCOM and WebIDL. We need to have those types be generated so that whenever JavaScript is talking to those things and passing types back and forth, that we get the type safety that we expect. So that there's that work. And then finally, the last major chunk of work is making sure that TypeScript understands our pathing. So the Firefox codebase is kind of like a bizarre pathing system. It's almost the pathing system that we use for, you may have seen these protocols before, like the Chrome protocol. That has nothing to do with the web browser Chrome. Predates the web browser Chrome. But these paths do not map to like file system paths necessarily. They map to, like, the first element in this path is a namespace, and then the things that follow, generally speaking, map to areas within areas within the OmniJar package, the resource pack that ships with Firefox. But it's not like a direct, like if you open up the OmniJar file, you're not going to see like a folder called, I don't think you'll see a folder called browser and in it's a folder called content and then inside, like there's just like this weird sort of packaging indirection. So you need to get TypeScript's parser to understand our weird pathing. That's one option. And then the other option is we just fix our pathing. And that's something that we might actually do. There's interest in changing our pathing so that we don't have the Chrome and resource protocols anymore. And that we use something new like Moz source or something as a new protocol. And that protocol will map much more closely to the paths that exist on the file system in the source of the tree. Because these paths are a major stumbling block we've found for new contributors who like it is very difficult to reason about, where is this in the source tree just by looking at this path. It's very difficult to find out. There's no like browser/skin doesn't exist in the source tree. Browser does in the top level, but skin doesn't underneath it. So you have to like go hunting around. You can use SearchFox to find it. Let's see where browser skin resolves to. Oh, browser themes shared. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I'm being sarcastic. Anyways, so that's another one of the things that we're looking to sort of address in 2025. Now that we've done the ESM modifications, we've figured out the tooling to turn our WebIDL APIs into TypeScript annotations, like TypeScript types. That will be helpful for when we're talking to DOM APIs. We need to do one similar for XPComp. And then we have to fix our pathing story. And then we have to get our JSDoc comments up to snuff. But the good news is that this has kind of proven itself out. Like the extensions team did this as an experiment, and it already bore fruit. Like they found logic errors. Like this is an example. This revision here, if I can copy the link address, you can see some of the stuff they found. It looks like they found that dot remove was being called on something when it should have been dot delete. I don't even know what by method is. What is by method? By method is a map, right? And there is no such thing as dot remove on a map. I'm pretty sure. New map, dot remove. Yeah, there's no such thing as dot remove. So that was probably throwing an exception, and it was just never caught. And instead, it now knows, like the linter knew, oh, because this is a map, you need to call dot delete on it. So they found that. Same thing. This is another example, except we were already calling delete, but it accepts an array rather than these individual strings. So that's fairly interesting. And in this case, what was being fixed? I guess version doesn't exist. You need to use schema version instead. And args map, you have to, oh, right. You can't just like, behaviorally no difference, but the types were incorrect. Because originally this was okay. This does the right thing, but Rob kind of goes into more detail about what went wrong here. So like, there were a couple of minor things wrong here, and TypeScript caught them. So that's all to say, we are eventually going to take advantage of TypeScript. Like, I think that's a very strong possibility, but we're not going to be rewriting everything in TypeScript. That would be a waste of time. Instead, we're going to take advantage of the JSDoc capabilities, the parsing capabilities, and understanding capabilities of the TypeScript CLI, and then using that. If you're curious to know more about that, I believe this blog post kind of talks about the tool and how to use --check.js. There was a blog post that I saw that I think is also relevant. This is from October of 2021, but it talks a little bit about TypeScript versus JSDoc, and that might also be of interest to people. Anyway, that's my answer for your question. It's kind of like a long-winded, imprecise question, but this was a short-winded and imprecise. It was a long-winded, imprecise answer for a short-winded and imprecise question. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. All right, back to Chorin. Let's take a look at what we're at. So we have been writing documentation JS doc documentation. And let us rebase as we always do as we start our episode. We're going to pull, or we're going to rebase on top of Bookmarks Central. Make sure it applies properly. Good. Oh. Then we're going to build with artifact. We're also going to open up the file that we had been inside, which was customize mode. And we need to catch up with where we got to. I don't actually remember where we got to. I think I wanted to get to like 1,000, line 1,000, and I don't think we did. I think we got about this far. And I took some to-dos last episode. Things to file. I'm going to maintain this running list. Things to file. Copy to the next agenda. Actually, maybe I should... Let's create a new note. Let us... copy summary. Create a new note. And we'll put those things to file. Inactive bugs. Things to file. Those should be to-dos. We're just going to keep this around. And this is the bug note. Can I link? Can I link? I never tried this in Joplin, but can I like link? Copy markdown link. This may not work for the agenda actually. So like I would be, yeah, no way. No way. I don't think so. Let's just double check, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, because this wouldn't be uploaded. So I'm not even going to link to it. I am keeping this around though. All right. So we rebased, we built, we conquered. Let us now dock, browser components, customizable UI, and then I think it's disable fatal warnings or something. No fatal warnings. I can't actually remember what the command is we use every week. But first we're going to install all these things and update all these things because apparently we have to do that every time. Lots of updates. Sphinx is getting better. Okay, it's disable warnings check. Okay. And we get all these good things. In customize mode, we've gotten pretty far. Pretty far. We've documented a bunch of stuff. Let's keep going. We got to the end of, I think, add to toolbar. And as I recall, yeah, this was related to that. We saw a bug about the context menu not appearing. I haven't filed that yet. I'll get to it. We're now at add to panel. So let's document that. So add to panel, get customizable child node. This is the thing that we're moving. Node, DOM node, the node. What was the node to be moved to the overflow panel? That's where we're moving it to. Where are we moving it to? Add widget to area overflow panel. Yeah. To the overflow panel. Reason. And reason is a... That's got to be a string, right? I don't know if you can hear that. Are people hearing like a very loud noise? Let me know. The construction that's happening next door, I believe they've started up some very intense machinery. Hopefully, I apologize here. I'm gonna bring the microphone closer over my head, or maybe I'll bring it directly in front of my mouth, and then you can maybe hear me better. Oh, that's really loud. So you're not gonna be able to see my lovely face, but maybe this will be better. Hold on. Oh, that's so loud. What are they doing? How do I tighten this? Hold on. Oh man, how do I tighten this? There it is. There we go. So it's a little bit of a low hum I'm hearing. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is I've moved the microphone really close to my mouth. So you're going to get some like ASMR. I hope that's all right. We're going to do an ASMR episode. Okay, so the reason. What is the reason? I'm going to presume that is a string, but we're going to find out. So we'll take a look here. Record widget change. A public version of the private method. Take care of the navbar start, navbar and thing that callers shouldn't have to care about. It also accepts the DOM IDs for the areas rather than the cleaner ones we report for telemetry. And then the reason goes into record widget change. And reason gets passed. Yeah, that's definitely a string. So we're just producing. This is all about recording telemetry so that we know whenever people are moving things and we can get a sense of what items users tend to move to the overflow panel to let us know whether or not things should stop being defaults in the toolbar and if maybe they should be defaults in the overflow panel. So a string to describe why the item is being moved to the overflow panel. This is passed along to browser usage telemetry, record widget change. This keeps. Come on. Why does this keep? Just there. Stop moving. Okay. And then what I'll do is the sound better with it so close to my mouth? Does that help? Hopefully that helps. Let's see some examples of this being used. Add to panel. Whoops. Dot add to panel. What kind of reasons do people use? Add to panel. Toolbar. It's like the source of what moved. This is passed along to record widget change and is dash delimited. Example. Toolbar context menu. Examples. To describe the reason is that the user chose to do this via the toolbar context menu. What's the other reason? Add to panel. Panel item context. Panel. Customization panel. Item context menu pin. Add to panel. Customization panel. Item. What is this? When do we fire that? The panel UI, menu item. In the overflow menu, in the menu pop-up. Oh, right. If it is overflowed. So if it's overflowed naturally, and then you can right-click on it and be like pinned to the overflow menu. Okay, I understand. Okay. Panel. Add to panel. Panel item context. Panel item context. The reason is that the user chose to do this via the overflow panel item context menu when the item was moved there. temporarily during an overflow. A toolbar overflow. Okay. Okay. Moves, pins. What's the terminology we used here? Moves a customizable item. Okay. Moves a customizable item to the overflow panel. Moves, I'm gonna say pins a customizable item to the overflow panel. This is used primarily by the toolbar context menus. It's used primarily by the toolbar context menu, regardless of whether or not this is used. Not primarily, I'm gonna say used by the toolbar item context menus, regardless of whether or not we're in customized mode. It is also on the item customizable or widget context menu within the overflow panel when the widget has been moved there. Pins a customizable widget. Toolbar. Customized mode is also on the widget context menu within the overflow panel when the widget is placed there temporarily during a toolbar overflow. Invoking this may kick off an animation. Actually, I think it's only true if it's in the toolbar. If this item is within a toolbar that shrinks the item icon and causes it to move occurs, the returned promise resolves once the animation and the move has completed. That's true, right? Yeah. Oh, thank goodness they've stopped all the rumbling. I'm gonna keep this ASMR situation going though. Hey, gang. Hey, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna make it. Okay. There. Like that. Yeah, I like that. Let's move on. Next one is remove from area. So in this one, we'll get the customizable child for a node that we context clicked on. Again, that's because the node might be wrapped in something. If the thing that we get happens to be a palette item, then we'll unwrap it further. Yeah, let's see here. Promise the widget okay. So even if we're just removing, not moving, we'll do this animation thing, and then we'll remove the widget from the area. And when we remove a widget from an area, it goes into the customization palette. So this is fairly similar to this. We're going to copy, paste, removes customizable item from its area and puts it in the palette. Dot remove from area. Looks like it's mainly used via the toolbar context menu. And yeah, also from the panel overflow, panel context menu. Removes the customized item from its area and puts it in the palette. This is used by the customer. Okay. Toolbar overflow.
If this item is within a toolbar, this may kick off an animation that shrinks the item before the removal occurs. The removal has completed. And this one, interestingly, this one doesn't add to toolbar, doesn't take a reason. Add to panel does, and remove from area also takes a reason. The node to be removed and placed into the palette. It's going to describe why the item is being removed. It's passed along to record widget change. Yeah, that all still works. Resolve once the removal has completed. Great. So far, so good. Let's regenerate our documentation and take a look. Okay. Just one sec. All right. Customize mode. Drag over. Remove from area. Set tab. Add to toolbar. Add to panel. This is very nice. Just occurs to me that these are automatically put in some kind of like alphabetical order, I guess. Wait, is that true? Well, methods are, well, it starts with like properties, it looks like, or attributes, and then alphabetical order on methods. Oh, that's neat. Okay, let's keep going. Populate palette. So what does this do? Hang on, I'm gonna take a sloppy slurp of some tea. That's not tea, it's coffee. This is my morning's coffee, and it's cold. That's okay. I don't mind cold coffee. I'm gonna also have some Coke Zero. Ooh, two wildly distinct flavors. It's interesting when I do that. Hold on. Okay, a dark, chocolatey, bitter coffee, and then like a cloyingly sweet Coca-Cola. But what's interesting about that contrast is I can really taste when I drink the Coca-Cola. It's Coke Zero. This is a Coke Zero, Santa themed. When I drink it, like immediately after I have the coffee, I can really taste like the citrus in this Coke Zero. Like I get a very strong like lime or lemon flavor. I don't know which. I don't mind cold coffee, splashes it down with Coke. That's exactly right. I don't have a refined palate, to be clear. You're not going to find me in very fancy restaurants. Well, you might, but I'll be eating... I'm not going to do myself a disservice. You might not find me in the most refined restaurants. You'll find me in all manner of restaurants. You might find me in fancy ones, but you might also find me in greasy spoons. Eating stuff out of a bag, and that's fine. Yeah, that's an interesting phenomenon. I can really taste the lime, or whatever that is. Some citrus. It's really citrusy. Okay, populate palette. What is this? So what it's going to do, I think we had talked about this last week, that there's this hidden palette and then there's the visible palette. The visible palette is the one that's, made visible whenever you actually enter customize mode. And when you enter customize mode, part of the steps is to move things from the invisible hidden palette into the visible one so that you can like manipulate them. Because their default sort of existence in the hidden palette is not exactly what we need for whenever they're in customize mode and they need to be dragged around. So yeah, let's make sure that that's what we're doing. GNav toolbox palette, that is the hidden palette, the default one. We get the unused widgets For each one, we create a palette item, and then we insert it into our fragment. We create a spring. Then we add that, and then we append that to the visible palette, and then we keep a reference to the stowed palette, and then we make the nav toolbox palette be our visible palette. And now the palette items are all here. Disable commands. We do this here rather than directly in enter because we need to undo this when we're called from reset too. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, so populates the palette scene in the content area, populates the visible palette scene in the content area when entering customize mode. This moves items from the normal hidden palette that belongs to the toolbox, and then temporarily overrides the toolbox with the visible palette until we exit customize mode. No arguments, no return value. Okay. Just an old comment here. Maybe this should use Moz element, where instead of wrapping the node would ensure no weird interactions / event handling from the original node. It makes it possible to put this in a lazy loaded iframe / real tab while still getting rid of the need for overlays. I don't know if we can use Moz element anymore. I think that might be gone. Let's see if Moz element still exists. It does look like we still support Moz element. If you're not familiar with Moz element, it's very interesting. This allows you yeah, we don't. What is this? Yeah, we use we actually use Moz element for the Pong game. For the Pong Easter egg. So what happens is Moz element allows you to style an element. You can say like background equals Moz element, and then you give it an ID, and it will basically clone the appearance of the element that the ID belongs to the ID and place that as the background image. It'll visually clone it. Well, it doesn't clone any of the interaction behavior. So it just becomes like a mirror, a visual mirror. Like if you were to click on it, it would be completely inert. But as the source element changes, things that are styled with its ID via Moz element update over time. It's very interesting and very powerful, but also poorly supported, poorly understood, and probably worth tearing out at some point. This is like really old Moz element. I suspect that there are people in our graphics and layout team or our graphics team that'd be very happy if we got rid of Moz element because it makes their lives harder. But I don't think we're ever going to do this, use Moz element. Like we use the toolbar palette items to wrap them, and that works just fine. So I'm going to get rid of iframe / real tab. I'm still getting rid of the need for overlays. I'm going to get rid of this comment. I don't think we need that anymore. Wraps a widget for a given widget, finds the associated node within this window, and then creates, updates the wrapper, and to be clear, it's a toolbar palette item that it's creating, right? Wrapper. Toolbar palette item. Yeah, okay. And then creates or updates a toolbar palette item that will wrap that node for you to make drag and drop operations of that node work on that node work while in customize mode. Widget. So in this case, widget is the special definition of for window. Do we have like a type for widget? I feel like widget group wrapper. I think returns a widget group wrapper. Wrap widget, create widget, wrap widget. I think it's got to be this. I think that's true. So it takes one of those, a widget group wrapper or a Zool widget group wrapper. And then place is, I think, a string, if I remember correctly. Let's just double check that. And that returns a DOM node. Place. Yeah. Place is used to show the label when it's sitting in the palette. What? Oh, that's weird. It's like a string representation of the area that it's in. Okay, that seems a bit awkward, but all right. So make palette item. Palette. Is there any situation where, first of all, is make palette item ever called outside? No. Okay, let's make this private. Also, some of these other ones like populate palette. That's only ever called from customized mode. That can also be private. Populate palette. And what was the other one? Make palette item. Did I do that right? Yeah, I think I did that right. Make palette item. And the only value we pass to make palette item is palette. So I think we can get rid of place, honestly. I think I'm fine with that. Palette. Make palette item. Palette. Okay. I'm just going to pause for just a quick second here. Hold on. I have to go deal with something. Just stand by. Stand by. I'm going to... One sec. Check. 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 Sorry about that, folks. Sorry for the delay. I'm back. I'm seeing a question from Danny Colin. Since you're deep in Customize UI, do you know if there's any documentation on registering a new widget or where I can find it in the code? Yes. Yes. I'm working on it. I'm working on it right now. Create widget. This is what you want. Create widget. And then take a look at all of the properties that you can pass it. And I haven't landed that documentation yet, but you can read the documentation I've added here in this file. And the one that you probably care the most about is going to be create widget. And in this block, the create widget properties block. So I'll drop a link to that in the chat. And then you can see some examples as well inside of customizable widgets.sys.mjs. These are like the built-in ones. You can take a look at them being used here. It's just like this array of objects that just describe the built-in widgets. In this case, this is the history panel button. There's the save page button, the print button, the find button, the open file button, sidebar, zoom controls. Yeah, lots of stuff in here. Lots of stuff in here, but you can take a look at those examples. No problem. Danny Colin says thanks, and I say no problem. No problem. Check, check, check. Am I peaking? It looks like I'm peaking. I may have like bumped my volume settings here. Let me just back that off a little. Okay. Let's keep going. Where were we? Where were we? Customize mode. Yeah, we were going to make it so that make palette item doesn't need, you don't have to call it with palette anymore. That's superfluous. Yeah, you don't need to do that anymore. We call it ourselves right there. We just pass palette there. Now depopulate palette. Let's see if anyone calls that from the outside. Nope. So we can change this to a private method. And then we're going to do this. Depopulate palette. So much better. Hygiene. Open closed principle. Isn't that, it's like the law of Demeter? Law of Demeter. Principle of least knowledge. Yeah. Okay. Moves items from the visible palette while in customize mode back to the hidden palette that exists, that normally exists attached to the toolbox while out of customize mode. This also reassigns the toolbox's property, palette property, to point back at the hidden palette, the default hidden palette, as this was overridden to be the visible palette in populate palette. Yeah, unwraps and moves items from the visible palette. From the visible palette while in custom mode, the visible palette back to the hidden palette when exiting customize mode. When exiting customize mode. Reassigns the palette property. I think that's clearer. Yeah. Okay, now let's see. This is another one that probably can be made private. Yes. No more pseudo private. That's good. Update commands disabled state. For all command elements in the window document that if the command doesn't have an ID, or for all commands that have no ID or are not in the enabled commands set, if command get disabled is not true, otherwise if disabled is true, then set was disabled. Okay, oh, I see. So commands may already have been disabled. I see. Puts them in the disabled state. For any command that was already disabled, adds a was disabled attribute to the command. If should be disabled is true. Similar. If should be disabled is false, removes the was disabled state attribute from any nodes that have them, any command nodes that have them, and for those that don't, removes the disabled attribute. Okay. Boolean. True if all command elements not in enabled commands should be disabled. False otherwise. Is customizable item. This is private. Hang on. I see what's going to go wrong here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. There we go. It takes a DOM node and returns a Boolean. Returns true if the passed in node DOM node is a type that can be used for customizable widgets. Okay. Is wrapped toolbar item. Okay, that's used externally. True if the node passed in node is a wrapped is a toolbar palette item, meaning that it was wrapped via, what's that? Via creator update wrapper. DOM node. Returns true. Yeah. The node to check for rapidness. For being wrapped. DOM node. The node to check to see if it's a customizable widget node. Returns Boolean. And DOM node, is it? This is very repetitive. Turns true. Yeah, true if the, so checks if the passed in DOM node is one that can be used by one that can be used for customizable widgets. That is one that can represent a customizable widget. True. Checks if the passed in DOM node was wrapped with create or update wrapper. Is wrapped with a toolbar palette item. DOM node is a toolbar palette item wrapper. Yeah. We do. I died there for a second. I died for a second. Oh no. Oh no. So my network is really suffering. Yeah, stream quality is oh, it's going back up a little bit. Something happened with my network there. It's starting to pick back up again. Sorry about that. Something's up with my... It's going back green, but I had like dropped some frames there for a second. So sorry about that. My home network was struggling. I wonder if the construction might be related. Nothing too interesting happened in the meantime. Just adding some more comments. My network appears to be recovering, though. I think. Wait, what network am I on? Yeah, I'm on the right one. Okay, good. I think it's suffering a little bit. Okay, well, if my network continues to kind of be garbage, we might have to end the stream a little early. I'm seeing a lot of fluctuations here, and I don't know what that means. Some kind of network event is underway. I don't actually know. I'll have to look into it. What is happening? But I'll keep going as long as if the stream just completely dies out, just drop a note in the chat. Okay, deferred wrap toolbar item. What is this? Is this called externally? Huh. Maybe I'm completely offline. Uh-oh. Am I completely offline? One sec. Let me see what's going on here. Is my home network down? No, appears to be up. Deferred. This is still loading. Let's reload. What's going on here? Can anyone read this? Is anybody still on the internet? Can anyone hear me? I just sent a message through the internet. I just sent a message through Matrix. Can anyone read this? What's going on? Oh no. Oh no, my internet. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this. Hold on. Just one sec. Oh boy. What could be going wrong here? I need to check my modem settings. Sorry, this is one of those things. This is a classic one of those things. Yeah, what's my uptime right now? Directly connected. Okay, there's a little... What is the latency? Connection is poor. Connection is poor. It's been... History. What's happening right now? Meshing. Okay, insights. The network says I'm online. So what's going on here? I can't seem to connect to anybody. Oh, so Danny Colin says yes. So Matrix is working. My browser isn't. I can't seem to connect to anything. Let me try restarting my browser. I can't check for updates. I'm gonna restart my browser. One sec. Oh. Okay. This is very bizarre. Let's see. Can I ping Google? No. Now you can see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to ping Google. I'm getting nothing. What do we do here? What do we do? Oh, there we go. It's coming back. Packets are coming through. Hey, things loaded. Hey, we're back. We're back, everybody. Whatever that interference was, I think it's gone now. Apologies if you were just watching me flail for the past 5 minutes. I think something went wrong with my home network. But it looks like quality has improved. Quality appears to have improved a little bit. Oh, now it's dropped again. Oh, this might make streaming really, really difficult, everybody. I'm going to keep going, but if it turns out I can't actually use the internet, I might have to end the stream early. I apologize. Okay, so deferred wrap toolbar item. I think I'd done a lookup here. Was it used externally? Come on. Okay. How about if I use unified get grep. We didn't see anything. We didn't see anything? Do you not see? So, is the stream still working, and what didn't you see? I know that that's a weird question. Like, did everything just kind of like stop, or what are you experiencing on your side of things? Okay, so this is only used in the one place, so we'll go ahead and make that private. Deferred wrap toolbar item. That works, right? Because even though I'm inside, yeah. Let wraps. What this does is it queues a task for the main thread. Queues a function for the main thread to execute soon that will wrap the toolbar, wrap a node, and then DOM node, and then string. Now, why, out of curiosity, is there a difference between wrap toolbar item and create or update wrapper? Wrap. Rutrow. We didn't see anything. Now we see. I see last 5 minutes wherever the stream ended. Rutrow gone again. Okay, you know what? I think the stream is a bust. My internet is in real bad condition. So I think we're going to cap it there. I'm so sorry, gang. Hey, I'm super sorry. This stream is a bust. What with the construction and my network hiccups, I think this is a bust. And we're going to try again next week. Sorry. Thank you so much for watching episode... What was this? This was episode 385 of The Joy of Coding. If you happened to catch the live stream, I apologize. This recording may be some interest if you want to catch the stuff that you missed during the dropped sections. All right. Well, sorry, everyone. And hopefully I will see you next week with better internet. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.